Good afternoon. I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to Get Real with Rick Dancer. It's a Monday morning after a long weekend. Wow, that was great. What a crazy weekend we've had. We didn't know who our president was. Now we are pretty sure we know who it is, but we don't know who's going to fight. A lot of things going on in the world. And it all seems to always come down to this time of year. So you have the election. This year we've got added to that COVID. And then you've got, on top of that, this is the time of year when you have to go in and find out that your insurance has gone up and to find out now, what do I do for my family to get us insured and all that kind of stuff. And I know insurance isn't like really super sexy to talk about, but it's something we can take off your plate, and something that's actually what we're going to do for you is going to take this completely off your plate. And that's why we've Scott Littlejohn with Scott Littlejohn Insurance, and Regence Medicare, his co-sponsor of the show, to help you. But all this other stuff is piling up on people. And here's something that Scott can do. All you have to do is go into his office, and he'll just tell you all the different things you have, all the plans you can do, and you don't have to think about anything. Scott, if we could do this for like everything else in my life, and no, the best part is it's free. You don't have to pay anything.
I know. You just, I probably should charge, because I've learned a lot about this, but I'm not going to charge you because I'm a nice guy, and I want to make sure that you get hooked up with the right stuff at the same time. So
we've talked about Medicare and Medicaid and all this before, a little bit about Obamacare, but let's get kind of a little more specific on what does it take to qualify for help, and talk to me about Medicare. You split it up how you want to, because you're the expert. I'm going to go share this a little bit by why you're doing that.
Yeah, sure. It's simple, yet it's actually really pretty complicated at the same time. I'll start off in the Medicare realm, which is usually 65 or older, that you are, or you've been on disability for a couple of years already, and they put you into the Medicare pool. But there's two things. There's two words, whether you've heard of them or not. There's Medicare, and then there's Medicaid. I don't know why they made them so similar to each other. It's actually makes it even more confusing. But Medicare is essentially the program, and Medicaid is the financial side of the program. So if you are in a lower income scenario for yourself or your household, and household is always determined by your tax filing status, how many people in your household, how many dependents you have and such. But your household size and your household income can dictate whether, or not you can be eligible for Medicaid coverage. And to kind of the simple way to put it is, if you're on Oregon Health Plan, I think a lot of people are familiar with that. Oregon Health Plan is the Medicaid funded coverage for low income individuals and families who are part of the regular Obamacare under 65 health insurance plan. So that is where you are subsidized by the government program, and they pay for all of your premium costs, and they pay for your healthcare expenses, and it's done through healthcare through Oregon Health Plan.
So how do you know if you qualify for that, Scott?
Yeah, so like I said, it depends on your family size, and it depends on how much income you're making. So like an individual, Stephen, come and see me, because it's based on the individual.
Because it's pretty personal. I mean, it's kind of like you don't know. You may have some factors, like with my wife. I mean, we have some factors that push us to a different place, but we know how that works. But you don't know until somebody helps you figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, what I use is there's a chart that comes out every year, and it tells you exactly where those numbers are, how much you can make in the year, or how much you can make on a monthly basis. And if you're under that number, you're going to qualify for Medicaid or Oregon Health Plan type coverage. If you're over that number, if you're on Medicare, you can still get some levels of help through the Social Security Department or the state pharmaceutical program. But it really comes down to your individual situation. And that's where I come in, is that even though the plans are set up pretty universally, you have a lot of different plans with different options in them and such. What I'll do with every one of my clients, and I sit down and I tell them the same thing, is that I consider myself an educator and not a salesperson, because your questions are individual to you, and we're going to make sure that those fit exactly where you need them to be to get the coverage you need and the plan you need. And if you qualify for these other programs, that's where I can help you make sure you're signed up properly to use those and take advantage of them as well.
So, like, can you give me the basic limits on income or something like that for people? Is there
Yeah, so I mean, they changed this year. So like the basic, I'll just say like, so for an individual, let's say if you're going to be on Oregon Health Plan, the individual can make, if you make less than $1,467 a month, I know it's kind of a strange number, 1,467. If you're under that on a monthly amount on your taxable income and you're under 65, you're going to be qualified for Oregon Health Plan.
okay?
If you're over 65, you're going to qualify for the Medicaid program in Medicare.
Okay.
So I mean, it's that number is just for a single person. You know, if you're filing that way, let's say if you're a couple, you know, you have two people who are filing, that number goes to $1,983 a month. And this all starts. This is the January 2021 limits. But any couple filing, if you're under $1,983 a month, you qualify for Oregon Health Plan. And that is
what do most people not understand when you come in and they're going on when it comes to the Obama Health Plan, Affordable Health Care Act? What don't they? You think, are there more people out there that could qualify that don't ever ask because they don't think they could?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what happens. I mean, a lot of people think that as a plan, how do we establish doing insurance? Okay, a holistic option. So that's a totally different question, Chad.
Okay, answer this question and then I'll pull that one up for us. Okay.
Yeah. So to answer that question, it's not one or the other. On the Obamacare side, if you make a little bit over that amount, you're going to be eligible for a federal tax credit that helps you pay a whole bunch of your insurance premiums per month. So maybe you have just a little bit left that you pay because, okay, you make $1,500 a month, you make $1,600 a month. And you may not qualify for Oregon Health Plan, but you qualify for help through the Obamacare program. And that's going to help pay for your premiums. And it's even going to lower your deductible on your plan and your copays that go along with that. Because some of these really high deductibles you hear about in plans, someone who's making $1,600 a month, for them to reach a deductible of, $3,500 or something like that, that's just out. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Right.
That's why the program exists. And
they can get it down really low.
Oh yeah.
And if people are smart, you can take that other money. Like, let's say you were paying $500 a month for, and you're down to $10 a month. I've seen plans where on Obamacare, they can get down to $10 a month. You take that money that you're putting into your insurance, stick that in an HSA, and you're banking money away that's tax-free. And all of a sudden something comes up and you can do something with this.
Oh, totally. There's a bunch of different ways to approach it. You can do the HSA. You can take advantage of the cost sharing reductions. And like we've talked about, it's all individual. It just is based on you or you and your family. And that's where I can help you, is figuring out what's going to be the best way to approach it, explaining it to you in a way that you understand, and setting a plan up that's going to be really a roadmap for you to approach the full year with, and for you to have a real grasp of what that's going to be.
The saddest thing I come across is giving people hope by teaching them there's another way for relief. So this is Chet. What about, will insurance companies ever get that place where they look more at acupuncture, other kinds of alternative medicines rather than just the same old drug companies? I think I'm interested in that. Because
I can't speak for the insurance companies on what they're going to do on a yearly basis. So I call those coverages the nickel dimer coverages. I can't speak to the Medicare plans. Those do offer a lot of that stuff.
Do they really?
You get the gym membership that comes with your Medicare Advantage plan. You can get acupuncture and chiropractic. And Regents here, they offer a massage therapy benefit for a $20 copay on their plan. It's actually really, really awesome when you get onto these Medicare style plans. On the Obamacare plans, they're set up, they have what's called a standard level that they set on their plans. So you can have a standard bronze plan, or a standard silver, or a standard gold. And what that standard means is that there's a standard level, the way all of these policies are set up for their benefits, and each carrier has to offer a standard plan in a category in order to be on there. So every carrier that's part of the Obamacare plan has to offer a standard bronze, a standard silver, or a standard gold plan in order to be part of the whole program.
And some of those will offer more or less depending on which one.
So what happens is around those standard plans, we have additional silver, bronze, and gold plans. And they have little different makeups that come to them. So like there could be a bronze plan that has a chiropractic benefit or an acupuncture benefit that goes with it at a copay level. But you may have a super, hey, Vicki, that was great to talk to you last week. You were awesome. But you may have a really high deductible, but they'll give you a couple copays to make it so you can access some of these little nickel dimer coverages and still use them.
So Scott, how do you I'm not eligible for Medicare yet.
Mm-hmm.
When I do, or Obamacare, how do you apply for that? I mean, what's the process?
So the process is it's usually done through the healthcare.gov website to do some of this sign up. And usually your process should be to just give me a call and let me either talk you through it on the phone.
I'm not trying to be lazy.
Yeah.
But I hate this stuff. I hate it with passion.
There's so much to it, because there's penalties, like the whole idea of let's move to Obamacare. The whole idea of that program is you're going to take a guess at what you think you're going to make for the year and do an application based on that guess. Because none of us know what we're going to make for the full year of 2021. Right. We don't know what we're going to make for 2020. It's not over yet. Right. But the real root of the process is you take a guess at what you're going to make. And in doing that, you promise you're going to file your federal income tax the following April. And that's how they audit your guess to see how close what you thought you were going to make really was to the real thing. And they give you help to pay your premiums based on that guess.
So do you sit down and go, take my bank stubs or pay stubs or whatever it is, my business, and you say, you help me figure out what that's going to be?
Totally. Yeah, Rick, if you came in to see me, if we were doing this, I would come in and the essential question is, okay, I know it's kind of personal and all, but who all's on your tax return? And what do you think, based on this year, what do you think maybe next year is going to look like as far as your income goes? And once you give me that answer, then I can bring up this chart and say, okay, well, you fall onto it or you make too much money to be part of it. And then the conversation gets kind of rough. But it's,
yeah,
but that's essentially what we do is figure out where you fall into it and then make a game plan for how to pick the best plan and take advantage of what is available. Because like I said, it's just a guess. You don't know. It could change, and we can make changes to that application throughout the year as your income might change going up or down at the same time.
But how you fill out that application the first time is pretty important.
It makes a huge difference. If you could, and that's the thing a lot of people don't know is what kind of guess you make can have a major difference on what kind of coverage levels you are eligible for throughout the year. Because there's some things to it. I won't call them necessarily tricks to it, but a regular person looking at it would just put in a number and take what's there and just go with that.
Right.
And what I can help you do is figure out, okay, we know that number. We're going to be close somewhere in there. Let's see what it looks like here or here, and figure out which plan might be better suited to you if you fall into a certain type of income category.
Okay.
And it's because you want to have a plan you can use. If you're going to get a lower deductible and we're close to doing that, I'm going to help you figure that out. But I'm also going to explain the consequences that you may have for doing it at the same time. Because if you guess too low and you make too much money, there's a chance they're going to take a little bit of that back.
Right.
So it's really explaining about how the whole thing works so that someone feels confident in their decision and confident in their plan that they've chosen. So they know what they're doing.
So if you don't charge, how do you get paid?
So I get paid because
that's be over personal, but
yeah, no. I tell everybody this in here. There's no charge for my service because the insurance companies pay me a commission when you sign up with them, and whether you sign up on your own through healthcare.gov and do it yourself, or you use me or an agent, to get help from, it's the same price to you. It doesn't change the price of your policy at all to get help. They just give the agent a commission if they help them go down the path and guide them into it. So the companies take care of me And trust me, it's not a huge commission. And that's why a lot of people really aren't doing this anymore on the individual level. A lot of folks who started doing, helping with Obamacare in the beginning aren't helping now because they've cut the commissions nearly in half of what they used to be even 5-6 years ago. So I do it because I have existing clients and they're wonderful, and I care about them, and I want to see them. I want to see them in a good place, and I feel like I have skills that would be going to waste if I didn't help people do this. The money will take care of itself.
Right. And then hopefully people would, like Vicky and people that come to you, then maybe in the future when they're doing other kind of insurance, they come to you as well.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I do all kinds of insurance, whether it's homes, cars, small businesses, larger businesses, group insurance. I do probably way more insurance types than I should. I should probably just specialize in one or two, but I've really gravitated towards the Medicare and the healthcare.gov side because it was, I see that kind of light come on for people. They have that aha moment when they see where they fit into it and that maybe this can be good for them.
Right.
Because I've had some people come in just terrified. There's no way I'm going to be able to afford this. And walking out just with relief that this has been taken care of. I had a fella in here last week who just, I couldn't really see it on him, but by the end of it, he was just, I'm so grateful that you were here to help me for this. I called 5 people before you actually picked up the phone. You were the only one who did. And then now that I'm in here, you've taken care of all my problems that I worried about in one sitting. And I feel so much better. I didn't know how I was going to do this. And,
Scott, when I worked at KZI, it's like every year, this time of year, they would come to you with your form and they'd hand you your insurance form. And it would be like so depressing because it was always going up like, exuberant amounts, and then my $25 non-smoking credit wasn't going to do crap.
Yeah.
And then you'd sit there and go, and then I'd have to go home with my wife. And half the time, the lady at the station, Karen Madison, would sit down and she and I would figure out what I was doing when she knew what to do, but she wasn't really someone who was like you know what I mean? Like someone who I'm going, I have financial people now and they watch everything I do because that's their job. Hers was just, well, here's what I do. And so I probably had horrible insurance back in the day, but, and you hated doing it. So I love that's why I was glad when you came on here, because I know insurance isn't the sexiest thing in the whole world. And, we could,
talk about it. It's super sexy.
There's so many people, if you get 10 people that come in and get the help that they need, who cares? It's time, I mean, that's really what the value of doing this is. And maybe other people start asking themselves questions and going, maybe I need to see what I can do, because I have financial people that I've had for years, and there are ways to save yourself so much. The HSA was the biggest deal for us, my wife and me, by getting that. Amazing. You know what I mean? And we never knew anything about it till that.
Those HSAs are great. Because you funded yours, you
right,
did, and you had that money there when you needed it, because that money on an HSA can roll year to year. I mean, it can gain
a bank account, and it's
it actually, they gain interest, they make money. There's no taxes on them each year.
Right.
And it lowers your taxable base to have that. I help people set up I do help people set up IRAs. I'm securities licensed, so I can do IRAs and mutual funds and all that stuff too. I kind of do it as it comes up. And what a lot of my businesses come from helping people on this health insurance side, and they, because it's about the relationship.
Right.
I mean, we may live in a "what have you done for me lately" world, but when you sit down with someone who actually genuinely, there's some authenticity there. We live in a Kevin Bacon town. I don't want to have anything go bad, because the minute I get out there and do that, my reputation is gone. So I figure I might as well do the right thing by somebody, whether it's in my best interest or not, because the long-term benefit of that is going to outweigh any type of short-term take somebody on something that is just not right for them.
So in terms of COVID safety and stuff, you can do this all over Zoom. You can do this in person if they want to, if they feel safe, masked up, or you can do it over the phone. There's just a lot of different ways with technology today that you can sit down with somebody and have this conversation.
Yeah, totally. Like we can do it just like this on Zoom type call or whatever. I can do a screen share and show you exactly what it looks like, talk you through the whole thing. You can come in and see me. I know a lot of offices are closed. They're still not doing it. I'm not closed. I miss the human connection with people. I love getting to sit across from someone and actually see them again. I don't know how many of you guys miss that too, but I certainly do myself. And that's one of the reasons I've been open, is that I just miss people. That is something I feel like we all need right now. We could use just a little human interaction, and it's on whatever level. I have the safety precautions here. I have the masks. I have, the hand sanitizer and all that good stuff. And I've been running a number of appointments through here, and I've had mostly, I would say, pretty happy people coming out on the other side.
So how does Blue Cross Blue Shield, Regents Medicare, how do they work with you in terms of this? Because they're obviously wanting to work with you and work with me on this. So how did that happen?
No, Blue Cross, when I told them about the show and the opportunity on this, they actually jumped on it really fast. They knew who you are. And I told them, hey, we met some on the first show. It was just, because I'm a horrible marketer. I'm really bad about asking for help or saying, hey, look at me. It's just not really in my DNA the same way that some others are. But just because I'm a poor marketer doesn't mean that I'm bad at my job.
Right.
And so when I asked Regents if they would be willing to get in on this, and they said, certainly, we would love to get in on this, because Regents has been a Northwest-based company from the beginning. They started in Washington. It was a timber family who started this company, and they have been super consistent for as long as I've been in this, which is probably about 8 years on this health insurance side, and I've been an agent for 13. I know I look so young with this because I shaved today, right? But
how old are you, Scott?
Long enough to know what I'm doing. And Regents is how old am I?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. I just hit 42 the other day.
Oh my God, you look like you're in your 30s. I cannot stand you.
Well,
see, this is what happens when you have a news director job. And
yeah, you had real stress. I just had I was because I was the news reporter for 3 years before this. I thought I could be a sports center anchor, Right. And then I found out it took the fun out of all the sports when you're there with the camera and sitting in press row, because you're not a fan anymore. And that's what I really liked the most was actually just going to the event, producing the event, took all the fun out of it. Right. And plus I was just broke doing it at the same time. Everybody wants the job. And so the pool's pretty big. So even if you have it, someone's there to replace you pretty quick.
So you guys, I put Scott's number on here. You can call him for an appointment. I'm going to ask you one more thing. Can I go off script? Can I go off somewhere else? Please. So how important right now, trust is so important for people, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
As small business people, it feels like, I don't know. How do I say this? It's almost like it's really, anybody can do what I do. Anybody can do what you do. But to get up and to gain people's trust, there's a commitment there that you don't see much in the world anymore. And go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like let's see, a good way to say this. It's with social media and the way that the world is going, it seems like we're so connected that we're really almost disconnected at this point. It's really easy to, it's kind of turned into wham bam, what have you done for me lately kind of deal. Everybody's trying to get in your face and get your attention. And it's just to get your attention for a short time so they can usually make some money off of you.
Right.
I've always had a pretty long-term take on this. I haven't been just gangbusters growth as far as the way I approach this, because everybody, when they sit down with me, this is their time. It's their turn. I'm not going to try and answer the phone or rush them out of the office and do that kind of thing. They deserve, I feel that people deserve their turn when it's their turn. And right. So when you make an appointment, you're coming in and you're going to get my full attention. And we're going to make sure that whether you take a policy or you walk out the door without doing anything, that's exactly what you want to do, is because you want to do that.
There used to be a commercial on TV back when I was a kid, a long time ago. And I think it was for like a perfume or something like that. I don't remember, but it was like, if you want to get some, it was like a sexy woman. And it was like, if you want to get someone's attention, whisper.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that was really, especially for today, I think sometimes more of the small people, the smaller agencies like you, the people that I deal with on my client list, Chris Dental, Any Lab Test Now, these are people that are just whispering. But when it's real, I think that noise comes through, that people, they have to listen harder, but it comes through. You know what I mean? I don't think we all want Hollywood, jazzy, flashy,
Well, it's so much extra energy to try to produce that. To just come from the heart and be authentic. That's one of the things that I truly, I shouldn't say, it's a weird way to say pride myself on, but I've really had some goals, especially since COVID hit, and that authenticity, it matters. People can see through it,
right.
can see right through you.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have a lot of clients who stay with me because they know that I do care about them.
Right.
They at the end of the day, I'm here to do what's right for them, and that tends to be what works well for both of us. And like you're talking about with Chris Dental and Any Lab Test Now, the Bratland brothers, those guys are awesome. They're great friends of mine. I knew them before we knew each other, and before they got involved with you. And those two have been just almost kind of big brothers to me in a way, because they've been successful in life and business, and we got to know each other through doing their health insurance to begin with. And now we've and this was before we even started doing anything with you.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's a small town, it's a small world, and we got to look out for one another. And just
right. And you kind of find, like I find with my client list, I was going over it this morning, and you go, everybody, if you can use everybody to help each other and build this little world, it's just funny how it kind of grows. And then when people are watching this, and you have clients out there or folks, you're giving them people you can trust. And I think that's what is so important. I think COVID has taught that, if it's taught us anything, it's taught us that we've got to stick together with those who are like-minded.
I mean, you have to be. I mean, I treat everybody the same. Some people come in here and it's like on Barbara Walters or something. They open up like it's just okay. That's
way younger and far.
Thanks for all the info. I appreciate that. Why don't we work on your health policy here? But it's so individual. Like, everybody has a unique story and a different situation, and they approach things differently. We're all different, and even though these plans and the way these things set up on health and Medicare are pretty universal setups, they can apply to you different. There may be a coverage that means more to you here than it does here. And for me, I know these policies pretty darn well. If you tell me what you want and what's important to you, I can guide you in the right direction without wasting a bunch of your time.
I got a tagline for you.
Yeah.
So it's Littlejohn Insurance. Sells insurance, gives away life.
Hey, I know. I know. If I say gives away life, they'll be like, "You're going to get me a free life insurance policy."
That's what I was telling Michael at Chris Dental, because he doesn't have and their office, when you go in there, they're very super professional. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to come up with a tagline: is they take it seriously, but not seriously. Because it's like you're in their family, but I'm trying to figure out how I can say that the best for them. But
I know, like it's
how do you take, because people, they read so much into things, but it's like, I think that it's really, we're all just looking for that authenticity. So I thank you for trusting us, and you guys, seriously, Scott can help you just take one thing off of your plate for the fall, as you're dealing with all the stuff and how you're going to do Christmas, whether you're going to do Christmas, how you're going to do Thanksgiving, COVID-free, mask-free, whatever it is. I think the more you can get rid of things and let somebody that's a professional handle them for you, the better I think some of us feel like, oh, I just need to do this myself. But I think it's, right now, with all that we have to do individually, you shouldn't be doing this yourself.
Well,
That's why you're here to help.
A lot of time and headache if you just
yeah.
shoot me a text or give me a call, and we'll set up a time to go over it. We'll do a quick synopsis of whether it's worth it for you to do it or not. I mean, I don't want to waste your time. I certainly don't want to waste mine. But at the same time, I've got 4 kids. I'm a community member here, and I need to make a living at the same time. So I'm on here trying to put it out there, which is kind of, like I said, against my DNA to do it. But Rick, I've been watching it for a long time, and that authenticity thing, it rings true. I love this area. This is where I grew up, and I want to see everybody. I don't like seeing people without coverage. Obviously it means something to me. I've seen it.
You don't want people to get screwed.
That's kind of it. I mean, you can screw pretty easy.
You should get everything you can out of this system. And if there's a system there that's there to help you, don't be ashamed. You should be using that system to get the assistance that you need.
Yeah.
And
I will help you navigate it to the way that's going to be to your best advantage, not the system's best advantage.
Right. And ethically and morally uphold everything, because you're not going to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, I don't write the rules, but I definitely know how the game works, and not to call it a game, but I know how the system works.
It's a game.
And how to work within that. I mean, I know insurance is not sexy. It's definitely not. I've got an old man sweater on. I'm not sexy either. But I definitely know that I'm going to put your best interest first. And if you give me a chance to be your agent on this or your broker, like I said, I represent all the carriers here locally. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. And know you're supporting one of your neighbors in doing this who's going to be looking. And I just can't twist your arm. I'm not going to twist you into other products and all that stuff while you're here. I just, you can ask and I'll help you. But you can ask the people I already work with. That doesn't really happen very often. They'll be the ones to bring it up to me.
All right, Scott, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. It was good to see you again this week.
We'll see you next week then.
Sounds great.
We're going to be back with more on that. I'm going to get out of the show, so you'll hear it, but I'm going to pop you out of here.
All right. Sounds
all
good.
right. So you guys, that's Scott Littlejohn Insurance, and Blue Cross Blue Shield Regions Medicaid sponsors the show. And I understand that insurance is not the most sexy thing in the whole world, but it's like something we all have to do. And Scott needs to get the word out like that. So if you're in the market and you're looking at something, or you just want to check out your plan, give him a shot, find out more about what he's doing. That's how it works. Helps Scott, helps you, and it helps me. And that's what we're all trying to do, right? Keep each other going as a community. So anyway, tonight speaking of keeping each other going as a community, got a couple things I got to share with you. So tonight at 5:00, the Bryson family is going to be on to give us an update on Michael Bryson, who's been missing for 3 months now, I think. That show is sponsored by his uncle, Matt McCarl, at New Leaf Hyperbaric and Wellness. So Matt is going to come. He's sponsoring the show. He'll be here. Their family will be here. There's some weird things that have been going on with this, and they're ready to talk about it. And somebody out there knows where Michael is, and we're trying to find him. And so we're going to be doing that tonight at 5. The rest of this week on Wednesday, Michael Bratlin, the doctor at Chris Dental, our dentist, is going to be giving out flags for free to anybody who wants them for Veterans Day. So to honor a veteran, take a flag and you can put it in your car. You can do whatever you want with it, but that's going to be over at his clinic, which is right near Oakway Center. And I'll have the address on our screen. And then at 2:00 in the afternoon, Adam Bratlin, his brother, Scott's other friend, and Stephanie at Any Lab Test Now, they're going to be giving out the same flags at their location over on Garfield next to the clock shop, the Creative Clock Shop. So if you want a little flag just to kind of show veterans that you love them and thank you for what they did, we're going to be doing that. What else we got going on this week? I got a dentist appointment, but you don't really care about that. I'm getting my teeth cleaned. You don't care, do you? No. And then, on Thursday, we're going out to Veneta, the Emporium. The Artist Emporium is going on out of Veneta. They're going to be bringing in for the whole month a bunch of different artists and different things that you can buy for Christmas gifts, all COVID friendly. They're going to have, everything's going to be 6 feet apart and masks on the whole bit, but some artists from out of the area too. So you're not going to be finding the same thing that you always find there. And I think right now that's it. And we'll probably be doing a couple other little shows in between. So I'll see you tonight at 5 o'clock. Have a great day. And again, if you need some help, give Scott a call. Number's right there on your screen. All right. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming in. All right. We'll see you.